What does the business owner or the father or the mother of a family, who's the head of the family, head of the company, do to not freak everybody else out, to put that game face on and make everybody else feel comfortable and everything's going to be okay?
That's a great question. I have no idea. No, just kidding. It is a great question. And, I posted this thing on Facebook yesterday that said, parents, remember everything you say and do, your children are absorbing right now. And it's really true. If you're a parent, you're a role model. You've got to be a role model for your children, which means there's no fighting about who's right and who's wrong. There's no putting the president down or bragging about how great he is. It's like, let's get out of this crap, and let's get unified. So the leader of the family or the leader of the company, you have no excuses. I have anxiety about this pandemic, like everyone does. I'm going to work through it. I will be open and honest and tell people, hell, I'm just like you. I'm anxious. But I'll also say, and here's the 7 things I'm doing to help alleviate some anxiety. And I think that's what leaders need to do. We need to not say, hey, we're going to be fine. And Ryan, I can't stand that Pollyanna positive crap. When we say, hey, everything's going to be fine, we don't know it's going to be fine. You or I might die, Ryan. And I'm not being, morose about this. It's just the reality. There's no one that can say we're all going to be fine. So what I say is, let's do this. We're going to work through this is much better than we're going to be fine, because it says work. We are going to work through this. We're going to change our beliefs. We're going to change our expenses. We're going to decrease expenses. We went through this as well. I had to cut several of my staff by 50%. I'm trying to keep them on at 50%. We're trying to keep money coming into their homes, but I had to do that as a leader of my company. We have 10 or 11 people that work with me, and it's all cut. That's just the reality. But I went to them individually and I said, listen, I am really sorry to have to bring this to your attention. I love your work. This has nothing to do with you. But we are in a very scary economic time, and I'm going to have to cut back your salary by 50%. Now, you can either accept it, and I hope you will and stay on, or you can find another job. And if you need to leave, I totally get it. Okay, I really do. Do you know that everyone has accepted it? And, then what I had to do is go through my own expenses. And what can I cut here and what can I cut there? Because, yesterday the government came on and said we have a minimal of 12 weeks left of this restriction isolation. That's 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
That can suck any bank account dry. And, you have a business, I have a business. Our expenses are a lot higher than your average family. And where I can't get unemployment being a business owner, there are some staff members that can get unemployment. That's not something that I'm going to be able to do. But there are things that we can do to be leaders. And it doesn't mean showing a strong face every time. I mean, if you get anxious and scared with your family, you can say, you know what? As your dad, I'm anxious too. Allow them to see you're vulnerable. Allow them to see. And then let's talk about family for a minute. When we work with parents with children, I'm going to tell every parent listening to this right now, do not push your child's anger, anxiety, worry, fear away. Don't tell them it's going to be okay. First, ask them what they're anxious about. Tell me what you're nervous about, honey. What are you, well, we're cooped up all the time. I know this is really hard, isn't it? In other words, we're not giving answers anymore, Ryan. We're just saying, I want to hear from you. And then I'm going to acknowledge that your pain is real. That allows a child to feel heard, to feel listened to, and to feel loved. Most parents, well-meaning parents, and I'm not saying I'm not putting parents down because we don't know what we don't know. Most parents don't want to get into a discussion. They go, oh, they're just a child. Trust me, just a child today over the age of 4 years old is not a child anymore. They've been exposed to so much via social media, internet, etc. We need to talk to them as young adults and let them know it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be mad that you can't see your friends. I understand that, honey. I'm glad that you shared that with me. Ryan, that's the approach we're encouraging all of our clients to take with kids.
It's a tough time right now, and
Yeah.
nobody has the answers, but